Hello. Um, so I'm making this video about my tarot, how I tarot journal and what I use. Just quickly. I mean, it's pretty basic, but I shared a video I made the other day, and someone said, "Oh, show me more about your tarot journal." And it's kind of things that I think are pretty basic, but as it's Hobonichi season, the big Hobonichi hoedown, I thought I would actually make this video because I use a Hobonichi for my tarot journaling, and I've done that now. I think this is my fourth year, possibly fifth. But it's definitely only my third or fourth year of using that Hobonichi Weeks, which is this little guy here. I love this. I love this journal. When I first started using Hobonichi, I never wasn't interested in the weeks because it felt too much like a old style tiny little diary thing, like you used to get free from the bank and everything. But I really do like it, and it's perfect for tarot for a lot of reasons. I like Hobonichi because I love the paper, and they had a bit of a thing going on with the paper last year, but I think they've sorted that out now. There's always some thing going on with these companies. No one's perfect, and it's not even achievable, or I don't think perfection is something that's even a believable concept to me. I prefer wabi sabi. We're all a learning, growing process. Um, anyway, so this is the Hobonichi Weeks. Every year they release different designs or different color covers. I think this is the Mega. And the only difference is that the Mega has extra blank pages in the back, which is good for how I use it. The traditional Weeks, which comes in usually different designs, covers, is got less pages, but it's otherwise identical. And it usually has designs on the cover, like there was one. I think my current Everyday Weeks has this mountain design on the cover. Snow, I like that. Um, and but for these solid cover weeks, which the Megas all are, you can get the clear patterned covers to go on them. So this year's is navy. Every year I said they're different colours. There's usually some kind of purpley one. My daughter always has a purpley one. And they also do a one called a Sneaker Weeks, which is another Hobonichi like wallet thing. I can't remember what it's called, but it's cool if you're traveling around because you've got lots of pockets for phone and wallet. And the only difference between the sneaker, this is my book journal. I have way too many journals. No such thing. No beating myself up. It's slightly smaller. The cover, but the pages are the same size. I'm pretty sure. Have a look. Find a blank page. There we go. Blank page in this one, if there is one. No, they are a bit smaller, so it's slightly different. Although that doesn't have the quote on it, so one with the quote. Well, I think they're the same. Yeah, it looks like they're the same. So the pages are pretty much the same on the inside. It's just the cover is taller on this. So you can't fit these plastic clear covers on the sneaker, which is why I keep it in there. But you don't need to. I mean, it's really robust. This is the third or fourth year, and they usually only come in two different colours each year. This year it's purple. I think last year was pink, and I think the year before was a blue one I had. But you get two choices. I think the other one this year was green. But they haven't released the calendar of their new releases is currently out, and I'm not sure what the colours of the sneakers are going to be this year. But I love it. I mean, I would just carry this around in my bag loose without this if I didn't have all my junk in there, rather than this one because I think this is, it's kind of more robust. It's only cardboard, but they are really, really strong. I mean, I've had old ones chucked around in my bag and everywhere. and it's still got the date like embossed on it. And so yeah, that's that. And the sneaker has got lots of pages at the back, like the Mega. But I like that one. But that's a reading journal. So this is the tarot journal. The reason I use the tarot journal. Oh, one more thing. This year's Hobonichi. I might make a video about that actually. The theme is Moomin. Oh my god, I love the Moomins. One of the themes, they have a lot. Last year the character was Paddington. They always have anime and gaming type characters, but they usually have another one too. And this was last year was Paddington. I don't think I got any Paddington thing cover. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think I only got that cover last year. But this year is the Moomins. I love the Moomins. I've always loved the Moomins. And I hope they do a Snoopy and a Womble one in the future. If you're listening, Mr. Hobonichi. So, when you, in the weeks, and there's probably other planners like this as well, but they're all kind of expensive to get here to New Zealand. So yeah, this is the week's Mega. And when you open it, you get like the current and previous and future years calendars, but then you get this yearly view. Now, this view is, I'm just going to make sure you can see what I'm showing you. This view has like literally a tiny little slot for every day of the year. And these colours, this is how I code my tarot cards. So every day for the last 85 weeks or something, I've been doing a daily draw from a different deck every week. Different tarot deck, and not always a different oracle deck, because I don't have that many oracle decks. And this was part of a project which I described in my last video to show how I'm honing my deck collection so it better suits me. And getting rid of all the decks I don't use and don't love and rehoming them by either donating or selling or giving away. So I use the colours to match the elements that the cards relate to. So I've got green for Pentacles and Earth, and I used a lilac-y purple colour for the Majors. And then we've got blue for the Cups and Water, and we've got yellow for Air and Swords, and orange for Wands and Fire. This was, as I said, not this year. This is last year's 2024 one. I wouldn't use these same colours because I think the blue stands out way too much, and I don't know. And the yellow and the green were too close together. But it worked, and I didn't do this bit this year. I left that blank. That's this year's one, and I'll show you. I haven't. Where's that page? I think it's completely blank. I don't think I even started. Yeah, so that's what it looks like when it's not filled in. The only thing I don't like is they have this pink. I wish they'd get rid of that. I don't like that pink for the Sunday. And the grey, I don't, I know some people like the weekends marked, but I kind of don't. I want every day to be a weekend. So then you get the year, the previous year, you get 1 month from the previous year, so December. So last year I used that to stick my year ahead spread in. This year I didn't. I was going to do the same, but I didn't stick my year ahead spread in because I was moving it around with me. So I've got it attached to my pencil board, which you can get to go with a weeks. It's a good little marker, and it's good to use as a back to write on if you've got, like lots of junk in it, like me, a smooth surface. So there's my year ahead spread. So that would really go there. But at the moment, it isn't. At the end of the year, it will go in there probably. I'll probably just stick one page down. And then we get on to the monthlies. So every day I fill in the colour, the corresponding colour of the element of the card, and write the name of the card. And it's a really easy way to collect that data. And I like looking at things and cards that will come up, and I like looking at patterns and signs and symbols. I can't stop myself, can't help myself. And then I decorate it a bit. And then at the end of the year, and monthly actually is better because it takes a lot of doing at the end of the year. You can count up how many you've got of this and what was the most popular and blah, blah, blah. I like doing that. It's just something I do. I've done it with tarot for years and years, but I've never been so consistent in recording it as I have this year. Now, I haven't filled in since the 12th of August because I've been away, and I didn't take this with me by mistake. So but I have been doing the draws and I've been recording them on my phone on the Notes app. So every day I draw my card. Actually, the decks, because I'm going away again, the decks I'm using this week are 2 phone apps that I hadn't used. But so this is one of my most used, my little Deviant Moon that I chopped down many years ago before they did a borderless version. I love this deck. I have mislaid it a few times, but it's always come back to me over the years. I think I've had this deck since 2011, maybe? Long time. Anyway, so now I'll shuffle the cards and draw. I have a method that I use for drawing a card because I can never tell when to stop shuffling or whatever. And, oh, is it the right card? Oh, that crap. I've got a very, brain. So what I do is I riffle and I do the other thing. Or I just, then I do the overhand. And then I cut them, and put one on top. Then I count to the day of the month. So today is the 20th, I think. Looking at my calendar there. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So today's card is 4 of Cups. And this is a great illustration for that card. It's pretty much, the gloomy little person throwing away that 1 cup and focusing only on that and not the 3 full cups that they've still got here. And I kind of like the little ship too. It's kind of like that when my ship comes in. And that always reminds me of, there was a saying in the Charlie Brown, like the Peanuts comics years ago when I was a kid. And it was Charlie Brown, and he was saying, one day my ship will come in, and knowing my luck, I'll be waiting at the airport. And this really reminds me of that. The attitude, the expression, the gloom, and the, very pessimistic, and then the ship. So that's that card. But I don't have that energy today. So if I drew that, so then I would go into my, where are we? August. And I'd colour this in blue, the 20th there. And then I try and use the same blue all year round. I colour that in blue and then write the name of the card. And then we go to the daily section and it would be blue there. I'd write the name of the card. And then if I'm going to do an oracle, that would just get written underneath in plain. So here we have last week's, and you can see I've used purple for the majors and just written the oracle card underneath. If I have anything I want to particularly focus on about the card, I do it especially in this one, I will do it on the opposite page, which is always blank, which I like about the weeks. So if something stands out from that week's card, some message, like that one, obviously I thought it was go with the flow. I had a lot of cups, so I decided go with the flow was a good thing. And then this week was a lot of cards about nurturing the planet, letting go of the past and embracing the new. And then the sun came up when it was a full moon in Leo. I just make all these random notes, like this one, the message was slow down and let things take their course. I might find matching little stickers or write something. That week it was trust the process. I just clean all this from the cards. And then if there's not enough room on the opposite page, then I will go to the back because I have a lot of pages in here. And I always stick the card of the month from the year ahead spread at the beginning of that month. So that was a 10 of Cups for January. Now, any particular day in January that I want to write about the cards, I do it in this back section. And like any tarot spreads I do, any readings I do, I record in here. Like my year ahead spread, I recorded that in here. And then I'll put the card of the month. And yeah, so if there's a particular card, like 11th February, I decided I wanted to write about the 7 of Pentacles. And I wrote about that and how it related to me. And you can write, I write as much or as little as I feel like. If I don't want to write anything that day, I don't. Some months I'll have loads I'll write, and some months I'll have hardly anything. And so that's how I use it. And this year I actually added to my year ahead spread. I did a drawing a card for each of the Sabbats for an energy of that couple of 6 weeks of the year. I used I love this deck, the Playful Heart Tarot for this year ahead spread. And I drew a card for each of the Sabbats. So an Oracle card from there. They've got added Oracle cards. You could use any Oracle deck, but I used this little extra few cards that come with this deck, or you can buy as an extra. I can't remember which. So they also go in the back. I don't know this year's. Let's have a look. So the first one we would have got in January. Now that was the card for the year. And I have two other, in my year ahead spread, I have two cards. So one represents me and my energy, and one represents the vibe of the year. So I had the Hermit this year for the vibe of the year, and the Six of Cups for my energy, which was revealing because synchronicitous, is that a word? Because I decided this year was going to be the year of like inner child nurturing and play and fun, and this Hermit guy kind of reminds me of my inner child, and I want to heal that person. So that was a really good card. I haven't stuck them in yet, the Six of Cups in there. And then this Oracle card I got for, which month was this? I think this was July. Embrace Your Inner Child. This was the card I think for Imbolc, which we're in now here. So that was really good. And this deck is perfect. It's perfect for play for the inner child. So everything kind of keyed up there. So yeah, so the Sabbath cards go in their places. Where is this one? I'm going to show you. See here, I was writing about. If I want to, I write about the vibe of the card of the month. Like I wrote King of Pentacles vibes, and how it relates to astrology. And then started talking about broccoli. I must have drawn broccoli from an Oracle deck. I was talking about broccoli and how it used to be called the Five Fingers of Jupiter in ancient Rome, and the planet Jupiter. I love Jupiter. Jupiter's great this year. Jupiter's in Cancer, which is Jupiter's home, and I do a lot of astrology stuff. But the way my brain works is, and one of the reasons I love tarot and this tarot journaling, apart from the project that I was honing the deck collection, is because I can draw a card and I can get so much out of it, like that inner child and how I connect it to that Hermit thing and the card here. And if it's something like an Oracle deck and I don't know much about it, say it's a plant or some kind of animal or species or something I've never heard of, I'll go and look it up. And if I'm interested, I'll go down a rabbit hole. That's my brain. And I do get very passionate and intense about things. So yeah, that was the card for Samhain. Relax into not knowing. I love that. I just love that. And yeah. And then this year, an additional thing I did to my journaling, every month, at the end of the month, I recorded how many majors, how many cups, how many swords, wands, pentacles, etc., which was the most drawn card. And I did this because last year it was really quite difficult at the end of the year to tally everything up all in one go. So I thought if I did it month by month, it would make it easier. I'm still going to end up recounting it because that's how my brain is. I can't not do that. Double checking, So I hope this makes sense. And that is how I do it. And I haven't had, in the last 4 or 5 years, I don't think I've bought hardly any tarot decks. My daughter bought me the last 2 seasons of the Witch Oracles that were released. So I love those. From my birthday last year, I think it was. And then I think the last one came out at the beginning of this year. I think that was the spring Easter one. And then the other 2 decks I got in the last 4 years, which the only ones I can think of were this one, which was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They did a tarot pip deck. This Kitten Chops did a pip deck, which I do love. I might do a video about that. The Dark Crystal Tarot, which I've had a couple of years, I think now. I adore that deck. I adore the cards, the packaging, the art is amazing. I love it. They did a Lord of the Rings deck too. And then the other one I got, no, that was an old one. That was a surprising deck. I did think of a couple of other decks that surprised me from the experiment that I was talking about the other day. One of them that I really almost got rid of without even thinking about, because I did that with a few, was the Celtic Fairies Tarot. That was a gift, and it was someone had had it and didn't want it. It never had the box or anything, just a bag, and I loved it. The book is incredible. It's not so much the art of that, but the book of that deck is really, really good. So I might look into that in another video too. And this one here, the Practical Magic in a Witch Oracle. That was another one. I did that on Kickstarter a long time ago. It's a very nice cardstock, but I was put off. I just thought it was going to be just, it didn't look like there was much to it really. I thought it was going to be more practical magic like the movie, I guess, or that Alice Hoffman vibe. But it wasn't. It just looked like symbols and a little bit of word. But when I actually got into it and read it, I loved it. It was really amazing. So I love that one too. So you get these surprises. I really do believe that experience worthwhile. And if you journal at the same time, because the two kind of go hand in hand, you want to write how you feel about certain decks and things, then, it's a really valuable experiment. Now, these are the cards of the year that I haven't, from the Playful Heart, I've got to cut these down. Printed them, accidentally I printed them too big for the pages, so I'm going to cut those down. They haven't been stuck in yet. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that's how I use all the sections. The dailies, writing up, the monthly, and then the tally up at the end of the year. On the very back is the decks I use every week. I write them usually on the opposite, the facing blank page, but I also record them in the back, so they're easy to check out. So week 1, I use Tarot of the Secret Forest and Notes from the Universe on Abundance, blah, blah. So every week I write down the Tarot and Oracle deck I used for that week. So I think that's pretty much it. At the end of the year, I do the tally of the card I drew most. Let's have a look. I haven't obviously done it this year, but last year it will be in here. Here we go, end of year tally. And I had to count how many of each card I drew using this section. Now where did I sum it up? Somewhere. And I recorded all the decks I let go last year, or not all of them. These are the ones that actually went, but I've also got a few more that are on the way out that aren't there. I've lost my on the way out file, apart from a couple of them. So let's find out where I recorded. Oh, that was just trying out which pens worked, and which worked on the paper, trying to find colours I liked. I like the more muted colours better. Now, where did I tally up? So that's talking about the Hermit. So that must have been talking about this year ahead, and the Chariot. There to be maybe my year card of the year. This is where it came up. So okay, so this is where I did the most drawn cards. So I didn't do it until January the 8th. I tallied it all up, and the card I drew the most for 2024 was the 10 of Cups, which I drew 12 times. The next one was the 10 of Pentacles, drawn 10 times, and the most drawn of the majors were the Chariot and the Hermit. So I wrote about the 10 of Cups, and I wrote about the Chariot and the Hermit. The Chariot is very appropriate for me because I'm a Cancerian, and the Hermit's also pretty appropriate because I am quite a hermit. My North Node is in Virgo, and it all connects. Yeah. That's me. That's my tarot journal. That's how I do it. I use the Hobonichi weeks. Next year I'll probably be doing it. I'll be doing it in another mega because I'll be getting the Moomin one, I think, but the Moomin one will not have a mega bit, so I will probably use that for just daily appointments and things. I have as I said, I have a mental health journal. I have a everyday catch-all journal, which is a big A5 one. I have the weeks. I have 2 weeks, 3, sometimes 3. One for just appointments and mundane stuff and shopping lists and things like that, which is just a normal weeks. This year it was the where is it? It was the I can't even find it. It might be in my bag still. It was the that design. And then I have the A6 one, which I use for my mental health journal. I have another Sneaker Weeks, which the last couple of years I've used as my book and reading journal. So I have a lot. And I also have a catch-all book, which is usually a Hobonichi notebook because I love them. And that's just a plain one of their notebooks, which I just randomly carry around and chuck anything in. Like if I go away for a couple of days and I want to take all my journals, I might use this and then put it in the journals later. That one's full up, but this is how. This year I decided to use instead of having a cousin like this is my Hobonichi cousin from last year, I think. But it gets too fat. I put too much stuff in. I can't stop myself. So it just gets fat. And so this year, I really was, and the same was the year before, which is, it's pretty much the same. Yeah. So there's the year before. It gets really fat. And at the end, you can't fit it in the clear cover. You have to take it out. So this year, after 3 or 4 years of struggling, I decided to go for the avec, and that means you get 6 months in one book. So this is the first 6 months of the year, and this one is for the second 6 months of the year. I do a lot of my astrology stuff in that one too. So you buy a pack of 2. I don't know if they sell them singly, they might do, but I bought mine in a pack of 2. Instead of buying one fat cousin, I bought 2 of X. Did I miss the cousin? Yeah, I did, because I really like it when it's new in the thickness and that. But it's kind of cool using this. If you were like slimline, you could fit it 2 in one cover. I can't. But it will, by the end of this year, they'll be as fat as the other one. Although in the first half of the year, I think I was quite restrained compared to previous years. Ironically, I had 2 books. I was really being very restrained, but I might do a thing about astrology journaling as well at some point, because I do a lot of that. There we go, I better shut up. I've rambled on and on and on. And I hope this works, because I tried to make a video yesterday and I was out of frame. I didn't realise the camera had twisted and the light was really bad and glaring off the paper. So let's hope this works. And sorry for my ramblings, and that's me, that's my brain, that's how I am. I don't want to be anything I'm not. And thank you. If you're here, thank you. Now I will shut up.